Okay, you have done a lot of work with the graphs and tables. You've been able to take a table of points and from a equation. You've been able to take those points and graph them on a graph. You've been able to find the slope from a graph, a table, or an equation. You've been able to find the y-intercept. So you are becoming very, very competent in moving back and forth between equations, tables, and graphs. This is just to review how to go backwards. So what we're doing is we're not saying, well, here's the equation, let's get some points, and now let's graph those points. In this case, we're saying we have a graph and we need to find points. Okay, so we're going to identify points. So in this first table, we know that when x is 0, whatever y is the y-intercept. It's where it intersects the y-axis. So when I'm taking points from a graph, I'm always going to start with the point where x is 0. Okay, so in the first graph, when x is 0, okay, y is 4. Now I need another point. I just need 2 points. So I could say when x is 0, when x is 2, okay, y is 0. Doesn't go up or down, stays right on the x-axis. So I have those 2 points. And if I was making a slope, if now I have those 2 points, I could say that the difference for the x is 2. And the difference in the y is -4. And notice this line is going down. So my slope is going to be -2. That'll be the slope, and which means that my equation is going to be y equals -2x, and then plus the y-intercept, okay, which is 4. And we know that it's 4 because that's when x is 0. Okay, let's go to graph 3. I'm just going to kind of go in clockwise fashion. Okay, so I'm looking for points. I'm looking for the 0 when x is 0. I want when x is 0 because that's going to give me my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 5. Okay. Now I need another point, so I'm going to go over to 1. I'm going to go over 1 space and up, and 1, and that is 8. Okay, so there's my 2 points, okay, and so I can find my slope. Notice that as x increases by 1, y increases by 3. And so 3 is my slope, and I know it's positive because the line is going up. Okay, so if I was going to write an equation, it would be y equals 3x, because it's the slope or the coefficient, times x, okay, plus or minus whatever that y-intercept is, and we know that it crosses the y-axis at 5. And so that would be the equation. Okay, I'm going to go to this graph next door now, and I'm going to do the same thing. First thing I'm doing is I'm looking for what y is when x is 0. And y is all the way down at -7. Okay, and I need another point, so I'm going to go over 1 space. So when x is 1, okay, y is -6. And I have my 2 points. Okay, so now I'm going to find the slope. It's x at the bottom, y at the top, and that is increasing by 1, right? I'm going from -7 to -6. That's 1 over 1. So that slope is going to equal 1. The slope is 1, and it's positive because the line's going up, okay? And so when I'm writing the equation, my equation is going to be y equals x. I don't have to have 1x because 1 is understood. And now it's going to be -7, okay? Because my y-intercept over here is negative. Okay, I'm going to go to the last one here now. Okay, and again, I'm looking for 2 points. I have a point here. Okay, when x is 0. When x is 0, y is 2, 4, 6, 8, negative 10. Negative 10. Okay, and now I'm going to get another point. And I'm not going to do the one I have marked. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do this point. Okay, I'm going to do this point. So that would be when x is negative 2, because you see each space is worth 2, so it's a negative 2. And instead of negative 10, when it's negative 2, it's negative 8. Notice, 2, 4, 6, 8. So over 2, down 8. So negative 2, negative 8. And so now I have my 2 points. I'm going to look for my slope. This is going down by 2. Going down by 2. This is going up. Up by 2. Okay, up by 2. Which means my slope is going to be negative 1. I'm going to have negative 1 of a slope. Okay, notice I have the y, which is positive 2, over the x, which is negative 2. So that slope is negative 1. And so I have a lot of negatives here. And I know it's negative because you'll notice that this line is going down. Okay, so I have negative 1x, right, or negative x. And then my y-intercept is also negative, so it's negative 10. And so that's how you would go from a graph to making a table and then to making an equation. Okay, so I'm hoping that's going to help you on the paper quiz that you're doing, and we'll see how this works out.